Hey everybody, this is Matt with AltCoin Buzz. Tonight we're going to talk about the cryptocurrency universe, the state of the top 20 cryptos right now, and some news reports, some things going on in the news. All right, let's look at it. I got you tuned in here to the top 20 on coincheckup.com. We're looking at 24-hour volume on crypto and toggle that according to trading volume. Here's your 7-day and 30-day volatility. Pay special attention to that. Things are more on the quiet side. And yet tonight we have a kick up in the markets. So Bitcoin right now, 73.55. If you've been watching in the last 4 to 6 hours, you might have noticed that we had a bit of a run here going on from that 7,000 mark. So things are kicking up here a little bit but some light volume. Not a ton of volume right now. Let's check short-term volume. If you go in here and you click in it, and tune this to the 3-month chart, you'll at least get a daily volume candle on that. And you can see here, if I toggle along the bottom, there we're already on the 3rd. There's volume yesterday on the 2nd. Just on the average, lighter side of average. We got a little kick up tonight as it goes with that price move up. So you guys can see how that is, about 300 on there. So over the course of just the last 24 hours, 5.92%. But in the last 7 days, Bitcoin's down 8%. So take note of that. Look at how that is moving to the overall markets. And I just want to peruse this top list and see what's moving the most. And it might stand out to you what things are down. So that's important too. We always talk about on Sea of Red days what is up, showing relative strength. So let's talk about on this top 20. When Bitcoin is up 6% for 24 hours, what does that mean to some of the ones that are down at this point? Does that show some relative weakness as far as that goes? And you can decide, if you're in those, what you're going to do with them. Remember, are you going to hold right now for what you're in? Are you going to buy them because they're cheap to you for your trading plan, your short, your intermediate, and your long term? Or are you going to sell right now? Just because the entire market's down doesn't mean, I don't know, you might have got in crypto 2 years ago and you're just ready to sell and get out for that. What's that going to mean for you on a day like this? Okay, something I'm seeing here in the top 10 that we have, of course, Tron's it's moved up 10%. It's been back and forth since I talked to you last time about a week ago. But over the course of the last 7 days, still down 17%, recovered 10% in the last 24 hours. So that's moving along with some pretty good, decent volume. What spot is that in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and really 7th place if you don't count Tether at this point for trading volume. And Tether is kind of light, by the way, on volume. So you know what I think of that. When Tether volume is light, it looks like not a lot of people are converting from altcoins to Tether, or from altcoins or from Bitcoin into Tether and holding it in Tether. So that volume is on the light side, no matter how you look at it. That's pretty low volume as it goes. And so another one you might stand out to you guys. You might not know about this AltCoin, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but this one might surprise you. If you guys look across here and see the trading volume we've had in the last 24 hours, 200 million. It's strong, and it's down 80% from its all-time high, which is more down from its all-time high than most of these top ones, except, of course, Ripple. Bitcoin Cash, 84%, down from its all-time high. But AltCoin is down a lot, but in the last 24 hours has kicked up 82%. Earlier in the day, it was up almost 100%. In the last 7 days, it's been up 44%. Big shout out to you guys listening in the car or listening on Podcast Zone. Or if you're just listening, I'm going to try to shout these things out so that you can take note of these when you get done driving. I don't want you to be trying to write all this down when you're driving. So I'll say these out loud. And this AltCoin is at 53 cents right now. 37 million on the market cap. I don't care about that. But what I do care about is showing you guys the volume spike in the last 2 days. So just on the 3rd alone right now at this point, depending on where we're at in the cycle, we got very, very strong volume for April 3rd already at this point, even though we're not closed. 193 million in volume on that. Yesterday, April 2nd, 146 on volume. Is that 6 or an 8? I think that's 6. 146 million on volume. You guys can see that along with price starting to move up from 27 cents on Sunday the 1st. So that was a good April Fool's for them because they went on a run. And from 27 cents to right now, So it has doubled from then, 55 cents at this point, just over the last few days. What kind of downdraft do you have on this? If you get into this and you're in it and you say to yourself, okay, I've been in it a long time, it just made an 86% move today. Am I going to sell this? Because an 86% move, folks, is 86%. I don't care what you're in. If something moves that much and you have that much profit, you better think about, what am I going to do with this position? At least if you are up that much, you might think about taking some off the table. I don't know. You may have been in it when it was $2 a share. And so you might be biased at this point and thinking, oh, it needs a long way to go before I can make my money back. Wrong thinking, wrong attitude. Because you don't know what it's going to happen. You don't know if it's ever going to get back to $2. So you got to make a decision, a unique decision at this time in the market, according to what this has done, with volume and what you decide and news and all those things that happen, if you're going to hang in this. Because the 30-day trailing volatility is 48%. So we bypassed that. It's ranged more in one day by double than it has in the last trailing 30-day volatility for the last 12 months. The volatility for the last 7 days is only 23%. So we've obviously not factored in these last couple days on that. So you need to decide, as you've been in this, and you might have been in this, lo and behold, you guys don't know this, this coin's been around 48 months. So the largest it's gone down in one day is 56%. Well, you know, it bypassed that to the upside. The maximum growth in a day has been 148%. That's for the trailing 12 months. And a lot of history in this thing. It's been around 4 years. Wow. So look at the events tab, find out what's going on with it. Full disclosure, I'm not in this. I don't know. Maybe I should have been. I wasn't on my radar. I didn't look at this. So I always want to tell you guys what I'm in, what I'm not in. And 53, almost 54 cents right now. So it's time for you, if you've been in it, make a decision. And if you're looking at the events, the next major development release is scheduled for June 21. I did research this earlier in the day and know that they do have quite a development crew. They say a team over 20 people, and they release a major development every 90 days. Not sure why this is on nobody's radar. There's not a lot of volume that happens on this normally, and I think that's why. 24-hour volume of 201 million is a lot on a circulating supply of 70 million, and lots of trading going on this thing. So that's just a huge spike. Let's look at the big lifetime picture of this. You guys want to do that? Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time on something. Remember, as I'm going through here, you know, if you're not in this coin, GRS, and you're like, get on with it, buddy, get on with it. There's 200,000 people listening to AltCoin Buzz, and a lot of them are new and they don't know how to do these kind of things. So get over yourself. Just if you're in this and you know about it and you're not caring about this, don't just say I'm shilling this coin, because I'm not even in it. And I just want to learn. Use this model, use this pattern of analyzing for your cryptos and help the community. If you're so awesome at this stuff, then just don't post in the comments and say, how get on with it. This GRS is boring. I don't want you talking about that. And get to use and get to work and create something good and help the community and help out. Either that or just keep your opinion to yourself. So how's that? You guys like that? I'm not bitter or anything. No way. Hey, check this out on volume. As I'm trolling through here in May of 15, you got like volume in the below $100. This is how pathetic this was. Huge volume spike here in April of 17, and that volume was only $15,000. So there's your answer. Over the lifetime of this coin, it's just had low volume. All of a sudden, you get this huge run up in October of 17, and it starts getting into the 2 million on volume. So that's when the first time it crossed 1 million in volume. Looks like to me, oh gosh, must have been somewhere around here in September. It's the first time it crossed that $1 million marker on volume on GRS. So just a recent developments for this thing. So this is high volume for 24 hours on this, and it made a huge run up. Went up to $1.42 at one point. I thought I read on the thing that the highest it went was, maybe I'm on the long term, I thought it went to 220 at one point. But nonetheless, it's 90% down from its all-time highs on that. So check it out. see what you think of that. You can go here and look on purpose and find out what they do and what rating they give it. There's their video. Again, I'm not reviewing this. I didn't even intend on going over this coin, but what we did was we went to the top 20, like I'm still doing at this point. I want to see the top 20 in volume and toggle that according to volume. Go back, make sure you're in line there, and we're just going down the line. I think that was number 8 as far as that goes. So let's do that again. There we go. Now it's arranged according to trade volume and not just according to market cap, which I don't like analyzing. So there it is. We're on Stratus. It's up 20% on good volume. Ethereum Classic, Cardano. I think we're rounding out our top 20 here. I wanted to point out VeChain because it's up 24%. And I don't see any on volume that are down because that's what we want to see too. On a sea of green like it is right now. Let's look at Storm because we looked at it on my last video. Still 117 on volume and is sitting in that 3-cent range, mid 3-cent range, up 11% for the day. But you know, at one point, we talked about this. It was up 200% for the trailing 7 days. So now you got to look at 30-day, over the last 30 days, what kind of price move, and it's up 15% over that. So has it stabilized? Are you guys drawing your support lines on this? Are you even looking at Storm? I know 20,000 people watched that video on Storm, so you obviously are interested in it, so I don't want to just pass it up. How about Steam dollars, people? Steam dollars. Big volume and up 98% for 24 hours. That's a lot. That's a 100% move right there, minus 2%. So if you're involved with that, you are a happy camper. And hopefully you find me on Steam. A lot of times I am on Steam answering things. It's kind of cooled off there. You guys have been slowing down because there's not as many people on there. Oh, here we go. Here's one. I'm trying to round out this top maybe 30 where you're at on volume and find you one that's down in an up market. And we just found it, Centra. So notice the relative strength on Centra. It is down 98% from its all-time highs. And for the last 7 days, down 72%. For the last 24 hours, down 58%. So you definitely should be aware of that. Are you guys in that? Are you in Centra? 449th on market cap. They don't have a strong rating on their algorithm score here for Coin Checkup. I don't know anything about this coin. I'm not trying to know anything about it. Please don't say in the comments you need to do your homework because I do my homework on a lot of things. I am analyzing volume and price move and all that. So look at this strong volume on this. These are techniques you can use in any crypto, in any market and thing you're on. All right, volume, 17 million. That's a big volume. That's a huge volume. And the biggest one here since March 22nd, it looks like. So let's go and pull out a bigger chart because over the course of the last 3 months, over the last 6 months, that may not be a big volume spike for it. You don't know. So it is down. January 27th, we had that pretty good volume spike, and the last one was the beginning of January. So that kind of volume that we had today is not unknown to this trend on this. So Centra, check it out. See, there could have been an event. There could have been bad news. We don't know. Guard yourself, people. Guard yourself against trading according to news only. Or even finding news that matches and you giving it a reason why the price of the coin went up or down. Guard against that, please. Oh, here we go. Halted by the SEC. So there you go. Breaking news here on AltCoin Buzz on my video. You just heard it here, folks. SEC halts Centra, so that's why it's down. SEC halting that one. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I don't care what's going on support. That is my opinion alone, and definitely not financial advice. So one more on the top 20, then we got to go into some news. We got to look at a few things that are moving as to why and where and how. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything here. We talked about the Steam, and the Steemit dollars making a big move, but the Steam itself, 52% in the last 24 hours. And storage and power ledger and Mercury. All right, that's enough. You had enough. Let's go on here. What do we got? I wanted to share this with you. This graphic was put out last week, and Jeff Desargens here, I put it out on March 7th. It's just such a great graphic. This is on visualcapitalist.com. You guys, I'll put the links in the bottom and you can look at that. But this is basically the cryptocurrency universe of the top 25. And it's a little outdated as far as market cap and top 5 by 30-day trading volume because, you know, we've had 21 days since this chart was produced. But if you just take it, look at the percentages around numbers. Mostly, I wanted you guys to see if you just got into crypto to pull this chart up and get a grasp of what's happening in the crypto universe as far as how long things have been around. And it's so recent, you know, Big Daddy Bitcoin and then Litecoin in 2011. See these concentric circles that go around here? This is 2011. I'm looking at Bitcoin at the center of the crypto universe, of course. But Litecoin is the only thing in that first circle with NMC. And then in the third circle, in 2012, along came Ripple. Along came a Ripple. And it shows you the size on this chart by first market cap, how big the circle is, but then it shows you a little color coding here in blue and red of the trading volume. I'm sorry, market cap is in red and the trading volume is blue, but then they size this circle accordingly. So you can get it's like the planets, you know, the sun is in the middle. The sun. And you have 2013 coming out here with Dogecoin. It's the only thing in 2013 of the biggies. Who knows if some other little guys were in development or project. But then you get out here, we get quite a bit more in 14. So you've got, of course, Ethereum in 2014, moving along the circle, Dash, Monero, and then you've got Omni. That's a little guy in there. Going out to the 2015 circle. Now you're getting into the zone where you guys probably, if you're in crypto right now, you might have heard of this. This circle, that's when Tether came out. You got Siacoin going around the 2015, IOTA, and NEM, XEM. Going and dropping to the 2016 at this point. You guys have surely heard of crypto at here. Ethereum Classic had it split with Ethereum, Qtum, Stellar Lumens, Zcash, and Zcoin, XZC, and then out to our 2017 circle. I know I'm not leaving any of you out in this and talking about this history and this time you were here for Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Tron, your all's favorite, Status, Neo, Cardano, in that. So this is a good chart for you to get an idea of time in market. I do want you to look at these as far as project development. Let's go back and see if we notice all these in the top. Of course, Bitcoin, Tether, Ethereum, EOS, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Tron, Status, Ethereum Classic, Cardano. I'm keeping on going down. Qtum, Stellar Lumens, Dash, Neo, NEM. There we go. Zcash and Monero. All right. And IOTA. So I just named all you off the very top list according to trade volume that were on that chart. Notice those have been around the longest. They've got the most development. They got the most, the long-standing, first to market in these categories. Those are things that you should be aware of. I named almost all these, except for Doge. And which other one? I'm just doing this off the top of my head for you guys so we can moving on. But almost all these, yeah, Doge and Bitcoin Gold were the only ones I think I didn't name ultimately on that chart. Coincidence? I don't think so. Coincidence on trading volume, on market cap, on how long they've been around, on how these projects been developed? No, I don't think so at all. Here, let's do another little trick over here on algorithmic score that CoinCheckup puts out. If you toggle that according to that, you can find out, do these in our top list on this chart are they correlation with some of the highest scores that they've been given on that rating and on that? And you can see Ethereum Classic, Cardano, Monero, Bitcoin, Doge, Nano, Ethereum. There's NEM, there's Tron, Bitcoin Gold. I think I misspoke on the Nano. Of course, we know that got renamed. Bitcoin Cash, there, Neo, IOTA. I'm just kind of going top 20 for y'all. Qtum. That was another one. The majority of these guys. There's They're at least on this top 50 on Coin Checkup. So no coincidence at all. Click on that link, find out those coins. All right, let's get into some trading stuff. Here goes. I'm just going to talk about the big picture of Bitcoin for the last little bit here. We're going to talk about some of that support and resistance line, trading volumes, some things that you guys are looking at, maybe that you have or have not been looking at as far as trading. I think I got a cool thing for you for trading, for help. For all you guys who want help with trading, you're begging for it. Show me. I need some stuff. How about some signals? You want some trade signals? You guys want me to give you some actual price signals? That would be super cool. Let's talk about that. All right. So here I am on Bitcoin on the 1 week chart. You guys know I'm on Kraken. So don't pay attention to these volume numbers because this is just one exchange, 5, 6 to 8% of the market. So, you know, just look at the trend, the volume trends on these. We'll look at some oversold, overbought situations too on these. But I want you to see some lines. With Bitcoin making this 300-400 point move up in the last few hours, it's important you to identify some trends and some lines and some stuff. See these big blue lines here is a 200-day simple moving average. And that's simple, not exponential moving average. But we're going to look at some big old lines, and Bitcoin happens to be at one right now at 73.42. We have touched this spot a lot on the weekly chart. Look at this going across here. It's sitting right at the 200-week moving average, simple moving average 200-week. There you go. Now, again, a lot of people look at the 200, they look at the exponential 200. Don't take too much on this of how, you know, exactly on one indicator. Shouldn't be using just one indicator anyway. But look how this coincides with how much it's touched this on the weekly chart. Week of March 14th, touched that. Look at this week here, February 7th, lived there a lot. Week of January 31st, lived there a lot. And then going all the way back here to where we started really moving in mid-November, when we started breaking out of that small-term uptrend that we were in here, it hung out there for 3 weeks. Solid 3 weeks, sitting right at that line, November 1st, week of November 8th, week of November 15th, before it started to take off. And notice the volume that week. That week of November 8th, for those of you listening in the car, strong volume, almost double of the daily moving average. Maybe not, maybe a third or more of that. And I'm just eyeballing it, okay? And it broke out of that top right there on there from that 73 range. So we're right at the line. So now let's draw some support from what we saw last week. But see that volume compared to this week's volume. So what I'm pointing at is the November 8th volume week compared to right now. And we are strongly above that for this week. Of course, not even close to finishing this weekly candle, so it's even stronger than I suspected. And then from last week, sitting a little above that on volume. So let's look at, along those lines, let's use last week, or the last couple weeks candle, to draw some support and resistance. So just on the onset, and I can squeeze out here for you so you get a better picture. Remember, we're looking at that last week of January 31st, a support line down here of that 59. That was a big drop. That was the end of January drop in the market. And it hit that 59 to 6,200 on Bitcoin on most exchanges. And remember I told you guys last week, that's a big area of support right there. Well, we almost tested that. If you look at the candle on this, you knew we went down to 64.49. So that was a biggie this week on that. So we're calling that our short-term support. Short-term support, everyone, that's a month or two. And then now let's look at intermediate. Let's look at where it lived a lot over these last few months. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We touched this zone a ton. This area right here around 10. But let's drop down even tighter. If you're shorter term and you're only talking a couple weeks, you know this area around 9,000, how huge it was. So see how I'm right at that line? I'm not drawing actual trend lines on the chart for those of you just listening, but those of you watching, you can see where my crosshair tool is. Again, the weekly chart. The top of these candles, see where it hit a lot during these zones? I'm not even using crazy Fibonacci stuff. We're not going into moving average crosses. I'm not going in any of that. We're just identifying the short-term range that it's lived in the couple weeks. And you guys know this is where I want you to think of it in terms of trading risk. If Bitcoin has a 7-day volatility of 15-16% right now, you have to be prepared that it can move that 15-16% in a day in the range of where these weekly candles have been, a weekly. Now, take your week and zoom into the daily chart. Find out if you can get some more detailed definition when it comes to this stuff. So I'm moving along the daily chart now at this point. We get a little more scientific in here. And I'm calling this 6450 to right here at this 67, a short-term support line. Where am I looking at for our upper range on this? Because we started moving, we started going. Do you guys see anything in here that would indicate that we might have some blue sky from the price right now of 73.50 up to a certain point? And I'm calling it 78. That looks like here that when it hits 78, it's been there a ton. Here, here, here. And when I say been there a ton, I'm talking about, look down here at the bottom of my chart. Big, huge volume on this day, and it was at that line at 78. We had bigger volume here on this day, 78. Almost touched on March 20, sorry, I'm not mentioning these dates, March 25th, March 26th, March 27th. And then going back here, and this is really short-term talk here, March 17th, March 16th, March 15th, March 14th, and almost there on March 13th. So it lived in that 78 range a lot. So what are we calling short-term resistance? Right here at 78. And from there, why don't you make a decision that day? Tonight, if it hits 78, then you can get all over me and say, oh, your short-term resistance is blown. That's wonderful. I'm happy. I'll be super happy for y'all. But at this point, we're calling the range, in this range, 68 to 78 in there. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Go do this for yourself. Draw these lines for yourself. Check out the big picture 1 week. Check out the daily picture. And then let's give you one more. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. So this is really for traders right here. If you're not trading back and forth or swing trading, then don't get too caught up in this. But it does help you get some more definition of the last few weeks. See, this is just a week. I'm just looking at a week back to March 25th. And this, see, I was talking about this, March 25th, 6th, and 7th in this range. But look at these candles here. It just hung out right there. Woo, right there. Big line, 78, 79 in that range. The topper being 8. The lower of that range on the 4-hour chart, low 77s. So I'm shooting it right in the middle, right there, 78, 79. Looks like you got a little risk to reward in there. I don't know. Are you guys got to, buy, are you trying to make all your money for the year all in one Bitcoin trade? Because at this point, it looks like short term, you've got about a 300 risk to a, what are we looking at? Probably a 500 reward. So pretty decent little, very short-term 4-hour chart risk to reward. And then I identified for you. I really want to see it break that 9,000 mark if we make a run here. And you make a run because of this line over here. For those of you listening in, back here on the beautiful days of March 22nd, way long time ago, March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, you were at that 9,000 for a resistance, and you got some long-term trend lines going on there. So, hey, that's what we're looking at. Guys, remember, for trading help, oh my goodness, check out my friends at Jenkins Risk Management. Guess what they've done for the AltCoin Buzz crew, army out there? They've given you a big discount, 10% on private cryptocurrency chat room access. That's where Jason Jenkins, watch my other videos, you can find out about him. You can find out a lot more about actual trade signals. Jason gives trade signals in here. Look at this. I'm just going to flash it on the screen real quick. Whoa, whoa. Tons of trade signals on a regular basis he puts in there. So if you guys really want to know something, they have extended this just for you all at AltCoin Buzz. JenkinsRM.com/buzz. And you get 10% off the paid, but go in here. Look at this. Interested in just trying this out? Join the free public chat room. You click on that, and you can find out what they're doing. And there's 900 of you in there, and there's a ton of free stuff going in. No need. Just dip your toe in the water, see what's going on, see how it is, see if you like it. And if you do like it, then they give a whopper of a discount for you, and you can join up and get 9 hours of training videos of a course and 300 hours of live trading volume and access to all kinds of stuff Jason and the Block Edge Capital folks do. So take advantage of that. And you guys know, of course, we don't have time for news, but you can check all that out on Distributed Post on CoinDesk as I'm on there. But most of all, go to altcoinbuzz.io, and we post news and blogs and things all the time, and join our social. And please, on this video, hit the subscribe button if you've never been here before, and ring this bell for notifications. And we will send you a notice in your email box every time we post a new video here at Altcoin Buzz. Join us on Altcoin Buzz Podcast YouTube to get all the podcasts, or on iTunes, and the Altcoin Buzz ladies. All right, guys, find me on Twitter, CryptoTradeMatt, and thank you.